early for us to set a firm depth chart. You know, I think Matt Bockhorst is a guy at guard that's very physical. You know, he's one of them that you got to say, whoa, not sitting. You know, he wants to go after him. You got to kind of pull him back a little bit. Very pleased with his progress, but you know, both of those guys that have done well, and they know it's you know, we got 21 more days before we get to that kickoff, and then even after that point, that's just who goes out there against Furman, and then it's what you do on the field, and you know, depth chart can change, and I think that's where we're going to be offensively. Is that you know, it's going to be so close at several positions. It's not going to be like we have some firm depth chart the Thursday before Furman, and it's going to stay the same all year long. You know, Coach Sweeney has done a great job of really. Part of our culture is competing every day, and that best is the standard. And the way that we've been very fortunate to recruit very well, you know, if you don't bring it one day, you're going to get passed by. And Coach Sweeney's already shown that the staff's not afraid to move the next guy up and give him opportunities. And when you have that culture, then that keeps the backups going and working. They don't just say, well, I'm not going to get an opportunity, let me just sit down. So I really like that. I like to see how many guys are out here competing, making plays.
Jeff, you mentioned that this is not an offense of individuals. How essential is that to have when you have a quarterback battle that could last, could extend into the season and beyond?
Yeah,
that sort of.
Yeah, I think Coach Sweeney told me he saw a stat that the ACC had done, and we played more guys last year than any team in the ACC. And obviously, winning the ACC, being the top team in the ACC. You know, obviously we've got some talented guys, but I think that speaks to the depth and willing to put guys out there. And I think our offense looks at it that way. And we start from the top offensively. You know, we got Tony and myself as co-coordinators. You know, I mean, that right there starts at the top. That shows that, you know, this is a collaborative effort. This isn't about one person. It's not about one coach. It's not about one quarterback. It's not about one wideout. It's about that entire group. And our goal, you know, we talked about it very first night offensively. We had 72 people in that room. I think there were 54 offensive players and 18 coaches. So there's 17 people in that room that first night we had that first offensive meeting, and it's going to take all 72 of us to get through. I mean, we played, last 3 years, we played 15, 14 games, 44 games in 3 years. There's some teams that hadn't gone to bowls that maybe played that in 4 years. So it's a long year. We're going to need everybody, and I think that's kind of that mentality. So you see a guy like Mitch Hyatt at left tackle, he's trying to bring on the next guy behind him because he knows it's going to be a long year and he may get banged up, and that standard should not change. And you know, again, that's something where I was proud to see in the scrimmage today. There wasn't a lot of difference between the orange group and the purple group as far as production moving up and down the field.
Jeff, along those same lines, the collaborative effort you mentioned, how important has it been in this build the last few years that when players come in, they see the same position coach. They see that things don't change a whole heck of a lot when it's not that way in a lot of places.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. We definitely brought that up in our room as well. I mean, that's why I said every one of these position coaches pretty much recruited every one of you guys here. I think the only one that added on was Coach Streeter, came in. But really, we've been here all the way through, and there's other top programs that have had a new position coach for 3 consecutive years. You know, but I think, number one, it speaks to the culture that Coach Sweeney and the administration and everybody at Clemson's created to be able to keep so many quality coaches here. And then also, you know, I think it says something about the coaches and what they believe in the players. You know, that we're really excited, you know, about what we have this year and multiple years. And so I think it kind of works together. And also, I think it's important that because we've been in this system so long, when we're recruiting, we know exactly what we're looking for. I mean, there's a big difference between Justin Ross and Darian Kendrick. You know, they're different positions, and so when you know who you are offensively, you're able to go recruit to that, and I think that allows you to add those young guys in there early.